Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more Moonlight Pro League. The first round of this match was won by Team ZeLoT, and in a pretty dominating fashion as well. Now we are going on to round two. This is going to be a King of the Hill format, so winner stays, and whatever team is left alive at the end does win. Now, if Team ZeLoT wins again, they've won the whole Moonlight Pro League. If Team Scan wins this one, we will go to the Super Ace match where the two best players overall are going to go ahead and fight for that first place and the better prize money. Thank you everyone so much for following ArtosisCasts. Really appreciate it. Thanks for checking out the videos. Please do make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. We have new videos every single day coming out. And a big thanks to everyone who has supported on the Patreon. That's patreon.com/Artosis. Now, for this King of the Hill, we're starting off on everyone's favorite matchup, Zerg vs. Zerg. In the top right, we have True, and in the bottom left, we have 815. So two very aggressive Zerg players in general. They're going to be fighting on Fighting Spirit. And yeah, no real prediction here, honestly. I mean, 815 has done a bit more recently than True. But they're both like pretty aggressive Zergs overall. You can see that this is a quicker pool, a 9 pool coming up directly into the Extractor, the Overlord coming in quite a bit later, whereas this is more of like an overpool coming out of True. So his economy going to be a little bit better, and we'll see if that pays off. They are cross spawn, so even if you're trying to get aggressive, going to be a little bit hard to do that. 815 gets on that gas immediately. We'll see if he goes for speed first or layer first. I generally like it when Zergs go layer first in this type of situation where they're going for like that very quick pull, just to make sure they have those very quick mutas to fall back upon. Up on True's side, already has over 100 gas here. We'll see what he chooses to do with that. Again, is it going to be layer first or is it going to be speed first? Now, 815 goes speed first. And I'm not surprised. You know, I'm talking about how I personally like the layer first, but 815 is just so aggro. Over on the other side, same time. So he had that 200 gas before the spawning pool finished. So speed as well as the layer. And 815 is going up the map. He doesn't fully know where True is. You can see he thinks he's probably top left, but he's going to get there with his Zerglings and find that that is not, in fact, the case. And his Zergling speed is so fast here. If True doesn't continually make Zerglings, there is a chance that he can just die outright, even though he did do a pretty early pool and did not expand as of yet. So we'll see what that choice is going to be. Both sides making a hell of a lot of Zerglings right now. Couple Lings running around here for True. Not sure what this is. This seems like it's like counterattack Zerglings, where you're going to try to run in to your opponent's base if they attack you, something like that. If their attention goes elsewhere, basically, and their Zerglings go elsewhere. Now, more Lings coming for True, and 815 looks like he wants to try to break in. He actually gets a good pairing right there before True gets the full arc on his ramp. So far going pretty well for 815. Yeah, he's killed a couple of Zerglings to just one lost. So really not bad. Okay, does lose another one there. True is up a single drone right now, by the way. Has his Spire started and trying to hold this ramp still against 815. Now, True does have 2 Lings off to the side. We haven't seen him utilize those yet. Looks like they will come in, maybe do a little bit of a flank. True backing up, but 815 going to absolutely wreck. Actually kills off like every single Zergling there. Now the drones have to come out to fight. This is a terrible situation for True. So much is coming back to the slowness of getting that arc on top of his ramp. 815 just jumped upon him for that, and now the drones starting to fall left and right. Oh my god, only 4 drones remain. That's pretty bad when your opponent has twice the amount of workers that you have. It's so funny, 8 against 4. Zerg vs. Zerg is just so ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, the Spire is faster. Maybe there's a world in which... No, it doesn't seem like it's fast enough, right? I was thinking maybe he can get like 1 muta across the map and start killing drones, but I don't think he would get much done before Counter Scourge or muta come out here for 815. So 815 goes back towards that Spire, putting the pressure on it. He's forcing an engage here. The Spire getting pretty darn low. He leaves 1 Ling on it while the rest of his Lings actually go ahead and fight. True has more Lings now, I believe, right? Or no, I guess they just went back to equal or +1 here. for 815. But yeah, he is controlling this game. Not a lot left over. The Spire getting super, super low now, and True just can't make anything happen. He's got no real economy, and that's going to be it. GG. That first map goes to 815. Okay, so as we jump into game number 2, it's on Polypoid. Scan has come out for Team Scan, looking to defeat 815, who is going for a hatchery first. Scan just about to scout that, so everything looking pretty standard on Zerg's side. And over on the Terran side, we see just a standard wall in this bottom right position. Definitely a spot you see a lot of walls on, because this is Zergling tight with the Marines popping out on the inside of the wall. So when you have those two things in combination, it becomes a position where you almost always see wall-ins. The wall-ins are pretty solid against pretty much everything but 4-pool. 4-pool, definitely it gets shaky, but you don't see that too often. Now, to be fair, the one time you would see it would be from 815. Like, he's literally used 4-pool in ASL, so definitely a possibility there. Now, the layer gets started at about 2 minutes, 54 seconds, and Scan sees that. So he has a very good idea of what's going on. Not surprised to see this out of 815. He'll probably be going Zergling speed next. And yeah, that's like a pretty standard opener that's aggressive, yet has like unlimited potential, right? Like, this is the most aggressive, I guess, macro opener. You can go all in with something like this, but certainly you can make like a lot of mutas and just play like a longer game too. So there's, you know, you can predict as Scan at least that, okay, well, we know when the mutas are going to get to the base, you know, we know when we have to get turrets and things like that. But you don't really know what the follow-up will be. It could be, you know, a third base. It could be a Guardian Rush. It could be a Lurker all-in. It could be a Muta all-in. You know, there's just such a wide range. Now, that Zergling speed still being made, it's not really going to be that useful. And you can see that 815 isn't really making Zerglings either. And, yeah, that's that's because there's a wall, right? When you see a wall like this, there's just no real way in. Scan actually offset the barracks so that he can go in and out of the wall. He's decided that this is not an issue. He doesn't need it to be Zergling tight right now. He'd like the flexibility to get in and out with scouts, with Marines and all that without lifting off the barracks. Now, looking to... Oh, very fast factory. And there's the Academy coming up as well. So this looks like it's probably going to be a Valkyrie rush coming out of Scan. We're not 100% on that yet, but definitely a build that Scan's very good at. He actually has his own Valkyrie rush as well. You know, a lot of people talk about lights. Lights variations on the Valkyrie rush have become like known worldwide and utilized really, really heavily. But Scan definitely has his own version of it as well. He generally likes to go for like 3 barracks with a very quick 1-star port Valkyrie. We'll see if he goes for that. More lately, we've seen 2 barracks play with builds that go like this. But yeah, Scan will show us what he's thinking momentarily here. Now, the Spire is just about to finish. And we have the third hatchery going up, right? So just something to keep in mind there, that the third base is kind of well hidden. This is not like the first place you would scan. You would probably scan there first and then think, oh, is it here? Is it here? You have a couple different options. But the nice thing about this is if we go into a big macro game, the 4th base is extremely easy to take. This one is harder to defend than this one at the beginning. But once this one's defended, your 4th base is free. And oftentimes the 4th base is the point of contention in this matchup. So right now, Scan trying to get some anti-air. Gets a bunker on the left side here to defend that depot and defend against Zerglings. Throwing down a turret as well. And his first Valkyrie is on the way. There's that 3 barracks play that I was talking about before. We don't have +1 started yet. This could be into a mech switch. It's a real possibility. A lot of Valkyrie builds do go into mech switches. Not always, but if you don't see the +1 very soon here, then that's probably what we'll end up seeing, is some sort of mech switch afterwards. Like, you still go bio for a bit, try to control the map, put some pressure on, but then go into vultures and eventually siege tanks. Now, +1 is coming up here for 815. He's got to be careful. When this Valkyrie starts hitting his Mutalisks, they are not going to last very long at that point. Very important to keep an eye on this. Now, he wants the Valkyrie to overextend. I guarantee you he'll jump on that Valkyrie if the Valkyrie slides forward. This is a big thing about Valkyries. They have one of the slowest attack animations that you've ever seen. Like, first off, they slide into attacks, which means, like, if you tell it to attack, it's very likely it'll go forward a little bit in the attack. And then also they sit there for a long time shooting off missiles, so they can be sniped very quickly. That's a great position to hold it, though. Repairable and back over the turrets as well. Second Valkyrie comes out, and now Scan looking to be in very good shape. Having 2 Valkyries, full health, having some bio. That range upgrade still coming. Third Valkyrie on the way. Scan going to put some pressure on the map. Now, 815 has added in a couple Scourge. He's looking to snipe a Valkyrie here. And if he can snipe it, like, this group of Marines doesn't beat Mutas without the Valks. Just throwing that out there. They don't have +1 or anything. So a lot of this will come down to whether or not the Scourge are going to connect. This is a pretty big investment here from 815, who, by the way, love what I'm seeing here. Look at this. Look at the line of vision he has through the center. If you look at the mini-map in the bottom left, you can see he's got vision of everything coming towards his main bases. And there's only really one path up along the top that's way out of the way that could hit his third base. So right now, he's really kind of combing the area. Here are the 3 Valks. Oh, this is his moment. This is his moment right here. The Valkyries try to run away. Gets one of them instantly. Oh, my God. That was so close. That was so close. It looks like one of them hit. He has a 4 hit point Valkyrie now. If he had gotten a second one, that's a huge difference. He didn't take too much damage on his mutas either. So Scan getting a little bit greedy going after the Overlord. That is like what the Zergs are waiting for you to do. Now, Scan continues to push forward. The Lurker upgrade is just about to finish, but no Hydras yet. It's all mutas being made. He really is going to have to rely on killing off those Valkyries, because, like, 2 Sunkens are not going to stop this Bioforce. It really comes down to the Valkyries versus the Mutalisks. And we are about to see that. It looks like it's coming to a head right now. Scan getting into position to do a massive attack. And here we go. Stims into those Sunkens. Notice how he's not letting the Valkyries attack yet. He's making sure that he gets the right first volley here. Now, flies backwards. The Scourge actually do hit. Another Valkyrie comes in. 2 Valkyries remain, and a lot of damage onto those mutas. He has got to do something about this immediately. 10 more Scourge are being hatched, but I don't know if that'll end up being enough. These 2 mutas come in and tank the Valk hits. The rest of the mutas getting on top of the Marines, but it does not look like it's going to be enough. And Scan gonna pick up the second game for his team. Wow, a couple of very quick ones. We are jumping right into game number 3 here. It's going to be Scan in the top right of Vermeer going up against Motive in the top left. A nice Terran versus Protoss. Neither of them have actually scouted each other. This is first contact right now. Kind of hilarious how late that is for this particular game. It is a Vulture expansion coming up from Scan. He has enough to parry this first Dragoon and probe pretty easily. Probably going to want to send down an SCV to make a bunker there. In the meantime, his SCV finally finds Motive's base and sees the timing of that Nexus, but doesn't really get a look at the tech. Here we can see nothing big, though. It's just, you know, that very fast range upgrade for the Dragoons, and just now getting the robotics. Now that bunker coming up, getting a repair off on his Vulture. We'll see where Scan wants to go with this build. Like, he's going to have to choose pretty quickly here. Is he going to do, like, an upgrade Terran build with a very quick armory? Is he going to get a second factory? Maybe an academy if he wants to get a bit more scouting done. Could even be a starport, but that would have to go up, like, right this second if he wants to try to make something like that work. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. But a mine upgrade coming up, so pretty standard, normal stuff. Going to get the siege tank out first to make sure he can push the Dragoons back and then slip out at least a couple Vultures behind, as you can see, making another Vulture right there. Now, oh wow, he's actually taking a lot of damage there. Yeah, this is a little trick you can do where you pop Marines out and the goons retarget on the Marines and they don't hit, right? You pop them out, you pop them back in between the shots, and then the bunker doesn't take damage. High level move, very useful at the pro level. Now, has the siege tank and a couple Vultures. Let's take a look over at Motive's base. He is getting a shuttle quickly, and we have double gateway. So very likely he'll be throwing down the robotics support bay in a second and going for a super, super fast drop here. Now, one thing to mention, this is a starport build, but the starport is quite late. See, starport, and there is the academy. So this could be a Wraith opener. Those are very rare in this matchup without scouting what your opponent is doing. But this is like a very slow starport to get a drop-off on. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what we're looking at here. I'm kind of excited, though. Like, there are some pros that occasionally will just open with Academy Wraith, and that it kind of blocks everything, right? No drops are going to get in. You have detection. You have great scouting. You have the potential for a drop later on. It makes them play a little bit defensively. We'll see what he's going to do. Now, the double siege tank, 3 Marines going to clear his front. Looking over at Motive's base, the first Reaver is... It's very well on its way. So he's almost there, almost ready. It looks like he's going to have to bring a Dragoon as well. And we see that scan go down. So he sees that it is, in fact, Reaver tech. And, again, this is kind of a slow starport. It does look like he's going for dropship, but since he scouted that, makes a Wraith first. Kind of cool. Like, the scan was timed out where if you don't see... a shuttle, like maybe you go dropship then and try to hurt your opponent, but in this case he sees that it's a Reaver drop, so why not get the Wraith? The Wraith really shuts it down super hard, the early Reaver drop. A Wraith and a few tanks is basically all you need here to completely destroy the Reaver drop, right? You have the one Dragoon, which can technically kill the Wraith, but it's not something that really readily happens. Now, here we go. He flies in, and he's going to see a blinking starport. He's not going to be happy about that. He has to get out of here and then drop the Dragoon to keep the Wraith away. Oh, my God. Is Scan going to dive? He could have actually killed the shuttle, but decides to save the Wraith. If he kills the shuttle, he loses the Wraith. Okay, so that would have been like a little bit of a trade, and obviously a Wraith is worth more than a shuttle, but stranding the Reaver is certainly not a bad thing. Okay, taking a look at what we have going on at this point, I see the armory going here for Scan, adding another factory. He'll certainly add a third one in a moment. Over on Motive's base, he's getting his shuttle speed. Has that observer tech. Third Nexus about to finish. So both sides growing very, very normally from here. Looks like the Wraith going to sit on defense on the edge of his base for now. A dropship is coming out, and we'll see if the dropship's able to do something. Like, notice the Dragoons haven't really moved from here. When you realize that your opponent has an early starport, they literally can't attack you because the starport costs so much money that their army is very weak. Like, look, right now we have 5 tanks, okay? That's not something that can beat, like, a Reaver in a shuttle plus... How many goons do we have? 3, 5, 9 goons, Reaver shuttle, 10th goon, you know, 4 gates producing. You don't have the unit counts that you need to do anything. So he's sitting very, very defensively, looking for those possible drops. Forge and Citadel coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if he instantly gets cannons in all 3 mineral lines. That would be a very good move to block Vulture drops pretty well. Like, the Vulture drops can still get a little bit of damage, but they're very micro-intensive at that point, and a cannon kills 4 Vultures pretty simply. So, yeah, I mean, it's turning pretty normal overall, like Motive's opener. Scans was kind of a funny one and very interesting, but it doesn't seem like he's getting much done. You can see he tried to get a drop off here. Doesn't really get anywhere. There's that cannon I was talking about. A couple Dragoons at the front. Another one looking for the dropship. No cannon here. This is the one base that you sometimes skip because it's the middle of everything, so the hardest to get to. And no cannon here yet, but again, I think we will see that relatively soon. Motive adding in a lot of gateways, just ready to get his macro going, and it looks like this is going to be a little bit of a Gateway Man follow-up to the Reaver opener, which is very, very popular right now. If you open with those Reavers, your opponent has to play a more defensive position. You have the threat of going in for drops. You have the threat of dropping on tanks and everything, and you back that up with massive Gateway unit production. And if they, like, over-respawn, let's say you dive into the base with the Reaver, and they over-respawn to that, sometimes you can attack, move the front, and break all the tanks up there. And sometimes you don't do that at all. Sometimes they're leaving units in the main base, so you utilize the shuttle to try to attack some of the siege tanks up at the front. So there's a lot of options here for Motive to try to deal some damage to Scan. In the meantime, Scan getting that second armory, getting ready for more upgrades. He's getting up to his 5 factory, which is all very standard. Floating down this this additional command center as well. Ooh! Okay, one very good Scarab. Got to keep those Goliaths healthy. It's another one, and only 2 health left on that siege tank, so a little bit annoying right there. Definitely wants to get a repair off as the SCV sent down. Looks like a 4th base. Well, actually a 4th base here with a 5th base probably on the way shortly for Motive. So he's growing very normally. I love the pylon down here. So annoying. Love the pylons. So annoying because those are the next bases that Terran would think about taking. And that's going to give you plenty of advanced warning that Terran is going to be expanding. The Wraith left on the side here looking for shuttles trying to fly by. Yeah, I mean, you have a couple turrets here, but actually a shuttle gets through here pretty quickly. You don't get that many turret shots. So smart to leave the Wraith on the side to prevent that from occurring. Now look at this. Triple shuttle. He's got 2 High Templars, 2 Zealots, 4 Zealots, and then double Reaver. Plus a lot of speed lots, a lot more units come out. Look at the supply differential. Right now, up 40 army supply for Motive. And this spread, there's not many vultures in here, so it could be dangerous. Drops on top of the siege tanks there. It's a great spread of tanks, but look at this. As he comes out, a nice size storm on these 2 tanks. The Zealots running in. This Gateway Man follow-up looking like it might be a bit too much for Scan here. He's got 1 unit and a bunker left at that 3rd base. Nothing left up here whatsoever. The SCVs have to drill towards the main base because he's afraid of Motive running up the ramp, but it looks like Motive will pull back, playing a little bit carefully. The Archon going to be chewed up a little bit as it morphs there from the siege tank. SCVs killing Archon. Okay, not something you see every day. And Scan needs to very quickly retake this area so he can protect his 3rd base. But another attack coming in now. Drops the Reavers on the high ground. And we'll see what he targets. Okay, gets rid of one of those siege tanks on the side. The Reaver does end up dying. Motive trying to shove up the ramp. The Dragoons actually kill the tank from the low ground there. SCV's drilling up, just trying to keep Scan alive at this point. Don't forget that Motive is on 4 bases fully mining. He is up 30 army supply right now with a very healthy economy. Look at this, targeting down +2 attack. Oh, it's just brutal to play against. Losing that +2 attack. Such a crucial upgrade there for Terran. And Motive continues to just rally. And look at this, Zealots being dropped. He has a High Templar in here as well. Throws the Storm down on the siege tanks. And honestly, this looks like game. Like, this is too much damage. He can't get back down here. Even though Scan has an okay economy, he's lost both the armories. He's going to lose the science facility. It's going to take him forever to get everything back up and going. Like, you got to remake the science as well. I think he can save the command center technically. But look at this, just more and more units being shuttled over, dropping right on top. And GG is called. Motive takes down Scan.